What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA, and well, what have we here? Unbounding in the comics, as you can see, the rumor mill is alive and well. Amazon to retool the Lord of the Rings of Power, sideline current showrunners after the first season was more of a failure than they could have anticipated. No, look, guys, y'all could have anticipated because we anticipated it. Like, how did you not know when we knew, okay? The fans knew. We've been telling y'all this since February that this thing was going to be garbage, hot garbage, okay? And what did you need to do? You needed to do what? What is it, Rock?
Listen to the fans.
Do you mean like kind of listen to them or sort of listen to them?
Really listen to the fans.
That's it. Just listen to the fans, man. Listen to the fans and you can't go wrong. We're the paying customers, okay? The customer is always right. Most times, okay? And in this case, we were absolutely right. We've been telling these guys from the very beginning what was going to happen to this thing. They didn't want to listen, and now they threw billions... They threw money down the drain. They can't get it back. This thing has been an absolute dumpster fire. As a matter of fact, let's just quickly go through everything that we've been looking at since this nightmare began. So this show has been like absolutely raked over the coals by the audience from day one, okay? And whatever those critics were saying, they were Looney Tunes because the audiences knew what was up from day one with this show. Not only on Rotten Tomatoes, but of course on IMDb, right? IMDb, same exact thing. And then what, of course, they came out and said this right off the bat, and this was so key at the very outset. Amazon Insider says the entire future of Amazon Prime Video rests on Rings of Power. Amazon Prime Video, nice knowing you. So, of course, they had to jump to their defense right away. Amazon Prime Video suspends the Rings of Power user ratings after review bombing occurs, right? This was right away, man. Like immediately after the first episode, people were trashing this thing. And yeah, was it review bombing? Nah. It wasn't review bombing at all. And then you guys remember they had to throw racism into the mix. The racist backlash to Rings of Power puts Tolkien's legacy into focus, right? They were even trying to attack Tolkien in this mess. Then, of course, they had to pull these guys out of mothballs to try to save the day. Said, hey, guys, put these shirts on. Go ahead out there in front of the audience and say, hey, everybody, can we all just get along? Along with that, you remember this silly little message talking about, we, the cast of the Rings of Power, stand together in absolute solidarity against the relentless racism and blah, 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 blah. Like, nobody was doing any of that, okay? This was about you guys making a trashy, terrible show, and you just didn't want to admit it. And then you guys remember this guy. I know y'all remember this guy, okay? I did a whole video based on this guy, and man, I mean, this guy was a piece of work. I'll go ahead and link that video up. If you never saw this video, you got to watch this video. This clown, woo! But then, finally, the tide started to turn. Eric Kane was the first one to kind of come out, and, you know, he did a complete 180 and said, hey, you know what? This thing ain't working out. These guys are making an absolute mockery of Tolkien. Even had an analyst falling asleep while watching the show, right? And reported that to the brass, right? This guy, the analyst, reported this information to the execs. I think this was the beginning of the end right here. And then you remember this one, right? The con artists were trying to con you again, right? Saying that if you had any kind of criticism whatsoever about Galadriel, you were just nothing but a raging sexist and you hate women and all that kind of nonsense. Remember that? Boy, that was, oh boy. And then it finally devolved into just sheer clown world nonsense. Sauron will be like Walter White, Tony Soprano, and the Joker. I mean, just an utter, complete joke of a show. And these showrunners, like I said, con artists before, man, yeah, it's time for them to go. And then finally, I think just the kiss of death. The culture war surrounding the Rings of Power was more interesting than the series itself. When the culture war, when the conversation that's going around is more interesting than your show, it's over, baby. It's over. Let's go ahead and check out this rumor. This is probably more true than just a rumor, but let's see what we got here. With Amazon's live-action bastardization of J.R.R. Tolkien's seminal fantasy works having underperformed by practically every metric, a new rumor suggests that the company will be retooling The Lord of the Rings of Power for its second season, starting with sidelining of its current showrunners, J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay. Them guys are con artistes, man. Great con job because you got it done, man. I gotta say. Word of this apparent shakeup was first suggested by noted film critic, industry insider, and Film Threat founder Chris Gore during an appearance on the 314th episode of the YouTube live stream show Midnight's Edge in the Morning. And it says here, they were discussing the season's finale with the Days panel. Chris Gore was asked, hey, what have you heard from your peers? Is everybody impressed? Is everybody loving this thing like the showrunner said that we would? And then he said, nope. In fact, he said not only were the industry contacts unimpressed with season 1, but the reception was so generally abysmal that Amazon has already set out to course correct for season 2. Look, it was inevitable, okay? A lot of people are saying, hey, it can't be saved, but we saw from the very beginning that Amazon put a lot on the line. They put a lot of bread on the line, and they said, hey, we ain't coming up empty-handed, okay? Whether we fail or succeed, we're not just going to go into round 2 with these idiots, okay? Because these guys don't know what the hell they're doing. These guys, first-time showrunners. I mean, you really have to ask the question, how did they get this job to begin with? I have no idea. A lot of people are saying, nepotism, J.J. Abrams put them on. Hey, maybe that's what happened, okay? Maybe that's how it went down. They learned the hard way. Yeah, that crap don't work. And they said, I heard from someone who has a connect at Amazon that if you want to know that effectively they're going to be retooling, he explained. And Payne and McKay are more than likely, they're not going to be publicly fired, but their role will be reduced. Yeah, it has to be, okay? It has to be. They don't have to publicly fire these guys at all. That would be fun for us, of course. But, in the larger scheme of things, Amazon is just like, we just need to avoid all the negativity. Firing these guys publicly would just put a big stain on the show automatically. So we can't do that. We're not going to admit that anything was ever wrong with this show to begin with. We're just going to quietly slide in some real professional writers and showrunners, and they're going to be working behind the scenes. And these guys are going to be standing on the sideline, holding the drinks, getting the coffee, doing what they should have been doing for this particular first season. Hey, Pat, yeah, that's 2 creams and 2 sugars in my coffee this time, okay? All right? And give me a donut, like the bear claw. I like the bear claws. I appreciate you, bro. You're a great guy, man. Hey, don't worry, first season, hey, happens to everybody. Don't worry, you'll be all right. Potentially just remaining in the writer's room, he added, but my understanding is they're looking for more experienced showrunners. If you hear anything about somebody with some experienced show running chops, okay? Somebody that's done a few shows or something, just popping up, oh yeah, we just added them to the writer's room. That's what happened, okay? That's what they're saying. Yeah, we're just going to probably just slide somebody in. They just ain't staying in the writer's room. They'll be getting the coffee and the drinks and the sandwiches, okay? Hey, go get my lunch. All right, hey, remember, no mayo this time, bro. You messed up the last one. That's how it's going down. You guys ain't going to be a part of the creative process whatsoever. Can you imagine J.D. Payne trying to lean over the new showrunner and say, hey, guys, remember, we're supposed to make Sauron kind of like the Joker. Remember that, okay, guys? Hey, security? To this end, Gore detailed that Amazon is well aware of the problems before noting that while there's what they publicly say, there's also what they're actually doing behind the scenes. And what they're doing behind the scenes, he then asserted, is they're freaking out that this was more of a failure than they could have anticipated. We've been telling them, man. We've been telling them, Amazon again. Hey, Rock, what do they need to do?
Listen to the fans.
Do you mean just kind of, sort of listening to the fans?
Really listen to the fans.
The Rock understands what's going on, okay? The Rock understands what's going on, and he's not a billion-dollar company. Why don't you, Amazon? As to what has caused the company higher-ups to go ostensibly sit up and get their act together, Gore speculated that there were 3 key reasons for this change. I think the quality of the show is the number one thing. Yeah, no shit. I mean, the quality of the show. What quality? Man, there was no quality to that show. Audiences are like, why am I still watching this? This is sleep-inducing. Yep, the analysts agree. The second thing is the total rejection from the fans, he next suggested. I can't believe there has to be very few people who remain who still like it. Listen to the damn fans, okay? They're gonna figure this out, okay? We're at a time and era where, hey, you keep ignoring the people that are trying to talk to you and tell you what they want, okay? These guys are gonna start listening, okay? These guys are gonna start listening. You better start listening to the people and stop trying to put your 2 cents in. Oh, no, we got it. We good. No, we ain't gonna listen to the fans or what? Okay, all right, keep it up. And thirdly, the direct competition from House of the Dragon. I told you guys, House of the Dragon exposed this thing, okay? People talking about it, people loving it, people high-fiving. I mean, the internet is absolutely abuzz every single time House of the Dragon is talked about. Even like pre-seed and post-seed of the show's airing, it started earlier and is ending later, thus keeping it in the viewer's consciousness for a longer period of time. Though it may be years before Gore's speculation is outright confirmed or denied, it's basically saying, the low audience scores on Metacritics and Rotten Tomatoes, Amazon got to do something about this. There was no way they were just going to be able to sit back and just roll into season 2 as it is, okay? No way, no how, all right? They're not stupid, okay? They were stupid somehow to let this thing, get out of the barn in the first place. Like, I don't know how these guys got hired, like I said. But once they saw the blowback, once they had analysts coming in saying, bro, I fell asleep. I couldn't keep my eyes open for 3 episodes, man. I was sitting there trying to watch, and next thing you know, I was out like a light. Okay? We can't do this. We can't keep doing this. Get this show off the air. They had to listen to the analysts. They listened to all the critics who did a complete 180 like Eric Kane. They had to do something. It was inevitable. It says here, as of the writing, they currently hold a 2.5 out of 10. Wow, on Metacritic. And then 35,000 fans have left the series a scathing 39% on Rotten Tomatoes. This thing is a wrap. I think that at the end of the day, Amazon, they're going to try to clean this up. They can't just fire these guys outright, even though that would make us laugh giddily with joy. But they can't do that, okay? They got to try to make this as PC a move as possible. If they fire these guys, it's just basically admitting that all the fans were right all along, so they won't publicly do it, okay? Because they got these guys and they want to keep their reputations, even though I say, hey, let them have it, okay? Hey, you guys kept coming out there calling the fans what? What was the word they used? Oh, yeah, there it is. Patently evil. Yeah, they called the fans evil. You guys remember that, of course. All right. So, they let the fans call the fans evil and everything. Let these dudes suffer the consequences of their behavior and their own actions, okay? They wanted the smoke. Well, here's the smoke. Let's go, okay? But they ain't going to do that. They're going to bail these guys out. Anyway, folks, what do you think about this? Are these guys completely finished? I think these rumors are 100% true because Amazon has no choice. They got to do something for season 2, and they got to do it fast. They got to get these guys, get them back on sandwiches and sodas, and get some real writers to get in here and fix this thing. But you guys go ahead, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.